Before making this video, I really couldn't find a pretty thorough and in-depth way of cleaning some mild steel. This has a lot of scale on it. It's pretty nasty. Something that you just buy from a regular exhaust shop. I know they use this steel for tow bars, and I want to make some legs out of it for a custom desk that I'm building. So I'm going to try a few different methods. First one I've got is a sort of like a sanding disc, looks like, but it's a little bit spongy. So this stuff all, has crazy amounts of detail in it, what it does, what it doesn't do. These come at about $25. Very expensive for what they are. I'm going to try one of these to begin with. Then I'm going to try a regular 60 grit sanding disc. Now, I've heard good things about using these on steel. It doesn't really cut into the steel too much. It just cleans it up. So that's the second bet of what I'm going to go with. Lastly, I'm going to be using a wire brush, but I've got the 4-inch grinder here, something very basic you can buy from any hardware store. I'm going to put some tape on there and try and determine what's going to clean this steel up the best without making it too sort of cut in and a little bit of that. So I'm going to clean it up first with this. This took about 1.5 minutes, so it took quite a while to actually use this disc, but it's probably my preferred method. These legs are going to be a very industrial look for a desk that I'm building. This desk is going to have fold out areas on drawer slides so I can have all my flight sim equipment. And I really enjoy this sort of look. The industrial look is what I'm going for. That would be ready for a bit of a cleanup and primer and paint. So I can really highly recommend that. Of course, it's going to cost at a premium. Wire brush, don't even bother. You'll never get the scale off this with a wire brush. 60 grit I used, came out pretty good. Unfortunately, it did cut a little bit into the steel, gave it that sort of shredded look that I really wasn't after, but it did do the job a lot faster. So, and they come in at about $8. So I definitely can recommend using this if you just want to prep it for paint. And this is the results that you've got. Clearly the sponge pad works the best. It just gives that matte sort of look to it. Doesn't really cut into it, although both of these methods will be ready for primer and paint if that's what you want to do with it. I tried using a regular grinding wheel. The light doesn't really do this justice. It didn't look that bad, but the grinding wheel took no time at all. Then I went over it with this flat sponge pad. These sponge pads wear out really quickly, so if I was going to do this just with the sponge pad, I'd probably go through 3 or 4 of them for both legs. This came out a lot quicker, the exact result that I was looking for, so I decided to go with this method. I gave it a bit of a cleanup, and I'm just using a regular clear coat for this. This is just a clear coat that you can buy from any hardware store, specifically designed for steel, just to protect it, stop all that surface rust. Final result looked pretty good. I am going for that industrial look. You can see some lines from a bit of grinding marks. I'm completely happy with that. You'll understand what I'm talking about when I have this thing completely finished. It's going to look pretty good. So I'm really excited to make some custom hinges out of timber and whatnot. So it's going to be a really fun project, that. I intentionally made this video pretty short and sweet just to show you the methods that I'm using to clean up some steel. Don't really have a lot of experience in this. I do feel like these sponge discs are probably the best bet if you just want to get a clean, nice matte finish. If you're just looking to prep for primer than paint, go ahead and use a grinding wheel. It's really going to be fine. Put some primer on it, give it a sand so it's nice and flat. Really like this look for the industrial feel. If you want to see me make these legs, including cutting, aligning, and welding them all up, that's all going to be attached in my custom desk build. It's not going to be a regular desk. I really can't wait to build this. It's going to have fold-out sections for my flight sim, my driving sim. If you're watching this in the future, that video is probably already up, so check my channel. If not, then it'll be up in a couple of weeks. But yeah, nice and short, sweet video of just showing you how to clean up some steel, because every other video on the internet seems to go for about half an hour, and I really just wanted to get to the point. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Cheers.